In this video, we're going to talk about the MyWork tab, which is part of the Maven Windows Framework dashboard utility. So you can see in this tree that we've got a whole bunch of information that we've already used. Essentially, MyWork is a personal support storage system. So as we are working through our different issues in a day, so for example, let's say a user calls up and says, I have an issue with my roaming profile. Every time I log off, I get an error and it's saying that my roaming profile cannot be saved. So the first thing that you want to do is go into your main grid, find the user that's having the issue, in this case D Mason, and you can see here we can bring up different troubleshooting tools. So we're going to use trusty old event viewer to see if we can figure out if there's a problem, and you can see we've got an error here. Aha! So you can see that there's a problem logging off because the roaming profile cannot be copied up because the specified file is encrypted and the user does not have the ability to decrypt it. So what we can do is use MyWork to first of all figure out, have we seen this problem before? So what I can do is search for roaming for and we have a roaming profile error on logoff. Now you can see here that this user has already had this issue. So by right-clicking on here, we can filter, and that filters in the text filter, which is kind of important because you have thousands and thousands of records and you want to quickly filter back to the problematic user or computer. You would just simply put filter, and there we go. But you can also see here that I've recorded a URL, and if I double click on this URL, this is actually going to take me back to the KB article that helped me troubleshoot this issue further. So this KB article is all about how to enable user environment debug logging. So we had done that on this machine, and in fact we've even created a little menu item that will allow me to explore the user env file on that system. And you can see I had a little note in here that says check the user env log and look for encrypted file. So I'm going to go and look into this and do a search for the word encrypted, and as you can see, we actually have a little entry here that says detected encrypted file, and it tells me exactly which file is encrypted. So from that I could actually remote assist into the user's machine and have the user right click on that particular file and decrypt it. So if we explore the user's profile and we look at the favorites, the user would actually see this. You can see it's green because the file is encrypted. So they would have to right click on the file and actually go to advanced and uncheck encrypt contents to secure data. So that's how you would troubleshoot this particular issue. So MyWork not only allows you to store information about the users and computers that you've worked on, but it also allows you to store documents. You can drag and drop any file. So for example, we had a DNS client logging issue and we wanted to record some information in a Word document. So we did that, and I actually dragged and dropped the Word document into MyWork, and you can see now I can just double click on it and that's going to launch Word and bring up a little Word document that I happen to type up on this very issue. I also have a lot of my favorite tools that I use on a daily basis. So because right now Maven is running as an elevated user, I don't have to get that annoying UAC prompt every time I launch Active Directory using computers, for example. So now you notice I just double clicked on it, launched it, or group policy management, and bring up with a little big the group policy management window. So you can put in different files, different shortcuts, the different tools that you use. I have a folder here called C Tools, which has a lot of the different tools that I use on a daily basis, and I leave that there as well in case I need to copy these files to another machine for additional troubleshooting. When you would like to record a new issue, you would simply right-click and add a comment, and you would type in, some issue, and then you would actually grab a computer or user that was having the issue, hold the control key, and you could drag the computer into MyWork, and you notice that actually brings up a little user icon when it's a username detected, and a computer icon when it's a computer name detected. And then from here, in the future, of course, you could just right-click filter, find that user very easily. So this is handy when you're working on an issue with, let's say, one or more machines, and you want to keep track of maybe a working machine, and you can just drag that computer into the working node, and a broken machine, and that way we can keep track of who's working, who's not working, and it'll help us hopefully solve the issue a lot more efficiently. The contents of this actual tree is stored in the user's profile. So every user of Maven will actually have their own MyWork, and in fact it is stored in the user's profile under %user profile %app data roaming overall solutions, and you can see in here we have Maven Enterprise Edition installed, and here is the mywork.xml file. If I just open that up, you can see it's just an XML file with a bunch of information about each node. So this file will be saved automatically depending on your options. So if you have autosave enabled, you can make sure that this file is updated every X number of minutes. So in case you get pulled away or you forget to save your MyWork, you can, if you want to do it manually, just right click and say save MyWork, or you can say save MyWork as and store it as a different file name.